Hi my dear friends, my name is Sergey, I'm the founder of My Chai, and today we will talk a little bit about some unpleasant objects inside the tea. Mostly we can talk about hairs in puer cakes or bricks or any kind of compressed puer, but also some other objects sometimes can be found in tea, and especially the beginners became a little mad about it. Wow, a hair in my tea, wow, it's so disgusting, let's shame and blame the vendor or the factory which produces tea and so on. Actually, what I need to say that it's normal. I don't say you need to tolerate it, and of course, for example, if in our tea someone found something like that, we all the time make a compensation. You can literally write to us, but almost 20 years of my tea experience, I actually found a lot of unpleasant objects in very famous tea cakes of famous factories, very small niche underground farm tea, also the same with non-brands, who cares? Of course, modern techniques, modern machinery, most of the biggest factories already have it. They have like kind of sticking roller which they pass through all the Mao Chai if you talk about puer. And almost now we can't find these hairs. You know, I even miss it because more than 10 years ago it was more common thing. Now less and less of those. I just want to say that it's not dangerous for your health or something. It's just a farmer product. And sometimes when you produce like 40, 50, 100 tons of tea, just accidents. Sometimes it falls even if you wear the hat on the factory, and even if it's very hygienic and clean factory. And actually what we need to say, not all tea factories on the planet are completely clean. And I talk not only about China, but even about Taiwan or Japan or some other places and countries. The main thing, just move it, wash the tea, and this is why they don't drink first brew, one of the reasons. It's a hygienic procedure. So the main thing, there are no any reason to worry. If we can count the amount of tea which I drank with a kind of a hairs or some other, maybe it will be like a truck of tea. And I'm still alive, you know, after many, many years in tea. So there are no reason to worry. But still, if you find it unpleasant, if you find it in our tea, write it down, we will solve the issue easily, no worries. And of course we report the factory, of course we try to all the time keep them, how to say, motivated and keep them aware about clean up the tea more proper and so on. Other thing is of course some small white fluffy balls. It looks like a kind of egg of insect, especially you can find it in Lunzin tea, some green teas. Actually it's just a rolled fur from the butt of the tea, and it's just this kind of hair of the butt, how we can say. And so it's tea. If you see that, just try to smash it and smell, and you see it's come from the tea. Also, when we talk about the hairs, sometimes during fermentation they use not only this kind of plastic material, but more old stylish material. It's kind of fabric which have a lot of this kind of hair, but it's not natural one, and it also sometimes comes to tea, but it's not hair. So there are many things like that, but now it almost not quite often you can meet it, but we can find sometimes. Also, what other objects? It can be pieces of cement, because if you talk about puer, it's a huge floor with tons of tea on it, and sometimes from this floor with some cracks on it, and a piece of cement can go into tea. With any food, it's possible, you know, when you wash the rice, sometimes in the rice it can be a small grain of stone, white stone, the same size of the rice, and it's for machine it's difficult to distinguish where is a rice or is a stone. The same with the other food, and still food has come from the soil, you know, come from the farm, come from the factory, and it's also possible even with more exclusive teas. Now it became more and more rare. Maybe last year I didn't found any in many cakes, doesn't matter cheap or expensive, but in some aged teas, especially old teas, which is like more commodity quality, doesn't matter actually what kind of quality, you still can find, because for that times like 10-15 years ago it was not any factory had this machine for clean up the matcha material, a semi-product of puer. Yeah, but now we still have a couple of small vendors which can have this tea, but mostly it's rarely found. Okay, I hope I replied the question, because people asking, yeah, it's dangerous, of course not, and just wash the tea, and yeah, if you worry about that and if it's our tea, write it down, we will help you and solve the issue, of course. Thank you very much for watching. Drink nice tea, no worries, just peace, love, unity and good vibes. Good luck.